Good morning, Flosstube. It's Lynette finally back again from not so sunny Brisbane today. It's actually quite wet, but we've had very hot weather, so we are enjoying it being slightly cooler. But because it's wet and grey, I'm actually inside today, and you can see on my top shelf there all my project bags. It's been a very rocky start to the year. Started off with my mother-in-law passing away, and then a whole heap of other things, and I've just finally got round to filming again, and I've been enjoying watching many of you. Sarah's Stitchy Spot, Carolyn of Seasook Stitch are a couple of my mainstays, and there's many others. So I'm just going to get straight into it, and there's going to be a great hole in my work, but I started the year off in January as trying to participate in the Bringo, which I actually did manage to make all the challenges by the end of that month. I'm not going to show you all of those because it would just be too many. I have I think I worked it out, about 60 plus whips. I've been putting them in my books. So I might have shown you this one before. This is my old one. So one of my oldest whips that are in here, I've got Death by Cross Stitch, and I have Cruising the Information Highway. So that's just, and then the idea was that when I finished something, I'd cut the edges off the pages, and you can see there's some pages cut off. But having so many whips now, I have started a second book, which I'll show you when I get to it because I've got a picture in there. As far as a diary kind of thing goes, this was what I found this year. So it's got both a month to a page and a week to a page, and I'm finding that great. And I'm actually no pretty stickers like some of you, though I have some stickers, but I've been keeping notes and track of what I've been doing in here, and I'm just finding that this is good as well. So this is my daily updatey thing, and then I've got my other books which are my master projects. I've also got the monthly challenge from March, which is, as usual, not quite living up to standard, but we'll cross that bridge as we come to it. So that's that. So I have quite a few finishes to show that I have finished over since December, when I last did my Flosstube. So thank you for those who are tuning in again after such a gappy thing, and I can't guarantee it's going to be any better. We're just going to have to film when there's an opportunity, but it's fun. So as I look to the right here, I have my computer screen with my notes, which I have finally worked out how to get notes in the drop-down box. We won't go into all that saga. So, oops, and it just went and closed on me. So the first couple, I'm not sure whether I showed you last time or not. They're from Little Dove Designs, and they were stitch-alongs. So the first one I've got was Gnomeville, and this was fun, and I don't seem to ever be able to finish a stitch-along. Well, that's not quite true, but in time was what I was going to say. So that's my Gnomeville, and it's stitched on a 22 count green Ada, probably Hardanger fabric actually, 1/1. And that was fun because I love toadstools. Oh, and I forgot to I have a toadstool money box like this, and I unpacked a box the other day, and I actually found it from my childhood, but I forgot to bring it in. So that's that one. Then we have Holly Cottage, and this was another Little Dove Design stitch along, and it was supposed to finish like this, and even though it's gorgeous, I decided just wanted to have it finished, and I got tired of all the borders, so I'll show you where I finished with. And this is also a 22 count Hardanger that I tea and coffee dyed, and I just cut it short, and I'm quite happy with that. So then we've got a Valentine's Day gnome. I'll just put it in front this. And this one is 1/2 on 32 count. I am finding I am really happy with stitching with one strand of thread. So this was supposed to be finished for Valentine's gift from my husband, and I still need to put it in a frame, but I haven't. But I enjoyed stitching this, and this is from NeniDesignCrafts on Etsy, and these will all be linked below. It was fun to stitch. I really enjoyed stitching that one. I've also got another one of hers with like a Scandinavian knitted hat. So that's that. And then where do we go? Oh, and then I ordered from, I meant to write a name down, Studio 12 Stitch Co. Number 12 Stitch Co. Number 12 Stitch Co. And I ordered Nature's Beauty by Little House Needleworks, and I just couldn't put it down. So this, I think, was it Robin of Bird's Eye Stitches? She coined the term SAF. So this was a staff. It was a start and a finish. And this is a beautiful hand-dyed thing from Nicole at number 12 Stitch Co. So I will make sure I've got her Etsy in my notes. This one is going to be a project bag for a friend, because the humming of the bees and the birds is all what she's about. So her birthday's at the end of the month. So at least I've started. I've got the two sides on. I've got the back cut ready, and I've just got to finish it up. So that'll be a project bag. As I said, I loved stitching that one. Then Tempting Tangles. I've done a number of Tempting Tangles stitch-alongs over the years, and I'm actually trying to finish up some of them. And very appropriately, I managed to finish up one that would be perfect for Easter. So I'm just getting my bits of paper behind here. So this is gorgeous. So this one was called Miss Cottontail's Egg-cellent Finishing School. And I just posted it the other day in a couple of places and in the Magazine Monthly Challenge group. I nearly ran out of fabric. I had to sew a bit on the bottom. So I'm just going to turn this into a cushion for Easter. And I have no idea why I didn't keep going with it at the time, because I've actually really enjoyed finishing it. It's with the DMC that were called for, except for the border, and the border I used a Colorist by DMC. I'll have to write that name down. I can't remember what the number was, because originally it was done in Dinky Dyes. So I'm very happy to have that finished. I just finished that one yesterday. So that's my finishes, which is not too bad. So now going through some of my current WIPs. I have attempted to start the Fox and Rabbit Mystery Stitch Along twice. Apologies for my hair today. It is humid here and my hair's just gone frizz. So I can't remember what I started it on something 1/1 and it was a bit ridiculous. So then I ordered some 40 count, and I'm doing it 1/2. And you can see I've got a heap done considering we're in March. So it started with this there's a bigger urn here, and then there's some Quakery motifs around here. It's called, what's it called? Royal Gardens is the theme. And then there's some border in, and I thought it was very clever of Brendan to put the border in sections this year, and rather than giving you the whole border in January. I like this, so I'm really keen. So I wanted to get across and try and do the current month. And as you can see, I've got a lot of February done. Anyway, so I want to have a go at the border, and then I can work my way across. So I'm doing this on this 40 count. It's a Zweigart fabric. So whatever their 40 count is, and I can't even remember the colour. And I've actually got a couple of bits of this. And I'm using, I bought this a while ago for something, Threadworks, and it's 1089. Excuse me, I'll just grab a glass of water. Sorry. I've got a few skeins of this, but as I say, I'm doing it 1/1 off 40 cut, so I'm pretty sure I won't wear that out, run out of that. That's in my lovely recycled tie bag from my friend Jenny. Always got to have something in that bag. Oh, and then Carolyn's been on the Carolyn Zook of Zook Stitch and Magazine Monthly Challenge has been on the enabling. So the moment I saw her show this, I got on to one of our stitching shops here in Australia and ordered it because I think this is just gorgeous. And when I did that, the bee one for my friend, I just really enjoyed it, and I just thought this would be its replacement. And the idea was that I'd bounce between this and something else and back until this is finished, which I started with, but I haven't quite got back to it yet, and I really would like to. So I'll show you where I've got across the top. Oh, this is the threads. They're all DMC in my beautiful unique project bag. And here's where we've got to. So I started in the middle, which you can see I've got a little bit of a tacking thread there to show the middle, and I did the top border, which still needs its flowers, and then I did the next border, and then I wanted to work down to that flower, and then I decided to go over the top and work on this, because you can see there's a fair bit of counting between some of these bits. So I started with that top border to hopefully give me a base to count. So you can see how it needs its reddy pink flowers. This has only got some of its flowers in. Done this, and I've started on here. And for the monthly magazine challenge, this was the theme was Needleworks Shop, and the acrostic was Charge It, and this was C for Camberly, and I've got down to finish one motive. So I would actually like to try and finish this motive before the end of the month. But there's just so many. I like this. I like all the variety in it, all the different things. This house is going to be fun. So thanks, Carolyn, for that. Another fun start from you. Then where do we go from here? Right, so now we're going to have a little Tempting Tangles Deborah Dick session here. So you can see I finished one. So the Magazine Monthly Challenge has got a pop-up challenge for this week, which is Spring Into It, I think. And this one was another stitch along from Tempting Tangles. It was Crazy Quilt Explosion. I've done a lot of crazy quilting in the past. And I was going to cut it off here and stop, but I was actually liking it, so I'm keeping going. It'll end up being a circle, and I think there's motives down the bottom here. So I've done, I think this is part 4 of 9. And I'm using Silks for You threads, so they're just all thrown in here. There's just 2. There's the orange and the dark green, dark khaki that I didn't have a Silks for You. I was in the Silks for You club for a while, and you'd get 4 a month. So I tried to use them, and they're beautiful to work with. They are really lovely to work from it. And I noticed the difference in this, because when I go from them to like this one or this one that is DMC, DMC is slightly thicker. So I'm using 2 strands over 2 on a, it's some bit like lugana. I'm not sure whether it's a 32 count. But I like the 2 over 2 with the silk very much. So the idea is to get 500 stitches or 5 hours in this, and I've already done an hour's worth for the spring, jump into spring. And that was also on my March challenge, and the goal was to finish it, so we will see. So then another one. Now these next 2 have just started. So this is the Perseverance Stitch Along by Tempting Tangles, and we've got 5 parts out. So I finished, and I love when Sarah's got all these dangling threads because I have too. It's 1, 2, 3, and I've just got to finish 4, and then 5 came out, so I worked down here. So 5's finished as best I can, considering it's a mystery, and that's all you get. So this end here is like the reverse of this. And the reason I wanted to start this one is because I liked it. Its word is perseverance, which is going in here, because I think that needs to be my word for the year. Is perseverance. There's a lot of things I need to persevere with. I've had issues with a few different things, including my Etsy shop, which I'm not even going to talk about at the moment because I can't get that sorted. I will say one thing, I'm on the verge of just opening a new shop because I've had so many issues in the first one. So I thought perseverance was a good word for this year. I think this has got 16 parts. I think it's 4, 8, 12, 16. So like there's more fabric here. And again, this is 32 count, 1/2 with the DMC that Deborah gives us. So that's perseverance. And it comes out on the 2nd and the 16th, or every 2 weeks actually. So, and then I saw her new one, which is in my home bag I made from a fat quarter shop stitch along. And this one is called Gardener's Menagerie. And parts 1 and 2 have come out. So Perseverance and this one come out on the same day, but this one's newer than Perseverance, and so I'm more or less up to date. There's white in the top of the house there, and how cute is the owl? So I think that's just going to be fun because there's a fox coming up, was the sneak peek we got. So, and I think this is a smaller one. I think this is only 9 parts. That's one. This is part 3 will be here, and then I think we go down. She did one a while back. I can't remember what it's called now, but I just really liked it, and I was really regretted I didn't do it. So I decided I was going to jump in on this one. And this is a bit of lugana. I think it's a 32 count. Not really sure, but I did dye it myself. It's a bit bluer than it's looking. It's looking very green on the screen there. So that was an impulse start, and I've got another impulse start coming up as well. Excuse me. So that's the 3 from Tempting Tangles. I've also got another one called Rainbow Ruminations, which has got a lot of blackworky kind of things in it, and I think when I finish the Crazy Quilt Explosion, I might get that one out and try and get all my Tempting Tangles ones up to date. I also signed up for another Little Dove Designs one, which is the sewing room. Only 1 part has come out, and I've got a piece of fabric and I haven't started that yet because I think her designs are a little bit different because they're quite cute and little blocks of colour and very easy and nice when you need something easy. That's still to come. Okay, then where do I go? Okay, full coverage is next. So this was a real impulse stuff, and I have no idea why. I was on Heaven and Earth Designs, and I have no business being on Heaven and Earth Designs because I have quite a lot. And this one, I don't know, I think my daughter was bathing her cats. She has 2 black cats, and she sent me this photo of bathing her cats, which was hilarious because the older one did not like it at all, and the younger one, who looked slink past like you're not doing me next, actually didn't mind it when it was his turn. So I think that's what sparked this. This one is called Bath Time. And apart from the white here, this just looks like the photo of her cat, her old cat. And I've got another, this one's by artwork by Lisa Parker. And I've got another one that's called Absinthe, which is a mini that I'm actually supposed to be doing for her, and I haven't started yet. But I just thought this was fun. I like the colours in those bottles. You mightn't be able to see it, but one of them's Flea Potion and the other one is Witch Hazel. So this one's Flea Potion, this one's Witch Hazel. And even this like towel with the prints on it. And I just bought it and started it. Just crazy, because I'm supposed to be working on something else. So here's my little start. Again, 1/1 on 22 count cream. I chose the cream because I thought the black would stand out. Well, it's not black, it's really dark blue, would stand out better than if I did it on a white. So this is my tiny start. Now, part of the reason for this start is that we went away. I'm just trying to work out which order to do this in. Let's do another one before we do that. Another one of Carolyn Zook's Enabling. So she keeps showing every now and again when she's working on it her Cardinal Cottage by Heaven and Earth Designs, artwork by Donna Gelsinger, physicist. And I was on there one day and I saw that she had a story keep. So it's smaller. Yeah, smaller. It's 200 by 514, just a little fella. And because I love seeing Carolyn work on it, I decided to start this. So it wasn't an impulse, instant impulse. It was over a few viewings before I decided to buy it. And it was when they had a sale. So I shouldn't go on Heaven and Earth when they have a sale. So I started this on holidays. And I've got quite a reasonable amount done. So I've started in this corner here. So it's not bad because I've got this strings and I've got that, yeah. Yes, so it must be about halfway across because I've got this branch here coming in. So we were on holidays, just went away for a week. We needed a bit of a break. And all of a sudden I remembered that last year Sarah at Stitching Mummy had been talking about markup because I have an Apple device, and she said that markup was going to go subscription based, and so I bought it while it was a one-off, and I hadn't had a chance to look at it. So while we're on holidays I played around with it, and it's actually very easy to use. So I put this in it. I haven't stitched anything from this piece on it, but I tell you what, it has doubled my stitching time, and it's just so brilliant that when you click the symbol and all those symbols that you're supposed to be working on light up, you're not hunting for them. And so what I've put my cruising in, and cruising is one I really want to finish this year. So this is Cruising the Information Highway by Randal Spangler. This one, and it pops up anywhere I'm doing anything. And what I did was, to get it into markup, I was colouring in the page, the print chart, right? So I put the edge of where I got up to with. Now I'd done all of page 1, so that was fine, because there's a thing where you open the page up and you can go to the side and you go mark up the whole page. So it just instantly marked up the whole of the first page. So the second page was partly done. So I just marked up the edge of where I'd done it instead of the whole thing, finished stitching that page, and then went in and marked up page 2. So that's the way I've been adding this in, and I have got a lot of progress. So here it is. Now I'm going to back up a bit, because this here, I've done this before. I'd work my way right across the top so I could see, and I'd work my way around down the bottom. So you can see there's partial pages down the bottom there. So I've got, I think it's 1, 2, and 7 fully finished the pages. And now I'm working on these books here, which is page 3. And page 3 finishes here somewhere, I think. I think that's right. Because the page, I think it's 6 pages across, But the 6th page is just 10 or 15 stitches wide. It's not a whole page. Now the fun thing, and of course all of you who use Pattern Keeper, this is not new to you at all, but it's exciting for me because this is the thing, it tells you how far along you are. And so at the moment I am at 28.2% on this, but it doesn't include this here, and it doesn't include any of this stuff up here. Well, I guess there's not a lot up there. And it doesn't include the top of these books that I'm working on either, because I'd already started those. So I'm obviously further than 28.2%. And then it tempts me with telling me how many stitches I've been stitching a day and when I should finish it by. And the first 2 or 3 days I was working on this, I got like 800 stitches in because I couldn't put it down because I'm marking them off and having so much fun with it. So the figures at the moment, it reckons I could finish it in August, but the numbers are all skewed because I haven't got them all in to start with. And obviously I don't work 800 stitches a day normally. I don't have that much time. At the beginning of the year, I sort of did a very, very rough estimate and thought if I want to finish this by November, because I wanted to give it to my son for his birthday, and I worked out I needed to do about 300 stitches a day to reach it, which doesn't always happen, you know. So if I can average 2,000 stitches a week across time, it would be good. But I actually think I had more done than I thought I did when I did that really, really rough kind of estimate. And if I don't get myself sidetracked with too many other bits and pieces, which as you can see I have done, I could do this. So it's very, very encouraging. And as I said, I think it's half the time I'm taking to stitch on this. And it was so exciting to get that tail in, to get the back of the car, which I wasn't quite sure what I was stitching when I first did that. I had to look, and the dragon's head. So I want to work across the top and get like the boring books in kind of thing. Instead of going down here and working more in here. So I might do a bit of a roundabout thing. Now I've got markup, and it's, by the way, it's markup RXP. If you just do markup, you get a standard markup thing, and it's wanting to mark up, you know, text documents and stuff. Markup RXP is the one you want. Yeah, so I'm wanting to work across here, finish this, and then I'll probably go down and finish this page. And then there's going to be a lot of red in here, but this is going to be fun. Seeing all this come to life, it's just been so much fun. So that is my focus piece for this year. I would really like to have it finished by November, and which is why I shouldn't look at Heaven and Earth Designs. I shouldn't listen to Carolyn Zook when she starts another full coverage piece, or Sarah Stitching Mummy. I should just keep going on this. But at the same time, you know how it is, you need a bit of variety in life, so I'm allowing myself variety as well. So my plan is to keep going with this, to do my stitch longs and keep up with them, because the that Gardener's Menagerie one, I can do that part pretty much in a day, depending on the day obviously, but you know, 1 or 2 nights I can have it done. And then we have, well, what have I done with it? I don't know what I did with it. Here it is. The April's Magazine Monthly Challenge. The theme is library. So what is this? This is a library. So I want a page finish on that for the theme. And then the acrostic is shelves. And I've got a couple with, also started with Caroline, was it last year sometime, she started a stitch along for a stitching shelf. And mine is stitching shelf for Quickstitch, which, as you know, Amy Stewart's Quickstitches, they're the size of regular Heaven and Earth Designs. They just got more detail. so I could do some of that because that's a bookshelf behind her stitching. And I'd like to do more on my bath time one, which will fit in for L for Lisa Parker. I haven't finished filling this all in, and I've got S down here for the sewing room cell to put in there. So I'm still working on that plans for April, but I would like to finish some of the other things I've got off on my March plans if I possibly can. I was also given a gift. I have a friend down the road, and she's a knitter and I'm a knitter, and we sort of met when she was walking her dogs. So I walk my dogs vicariously through her because I don't have a dog, but I really like her dogs. And we found out we both knitted, and struck on a friendship. And we were talking about cross stitch, and she went home to Canada to visit her parents. And my goodness, it was minus 25 in Canada, and it was plus 35 here. So it was a bit of a culture shock when she left, when she came home. But she bought me a kit while we were there because she knows I like cats and books, and my daughter likes cats and books. So she bought me this. And she's also bought a Dimensions kit with bears on it that she's going to get out. Now, it's on black Aida. I don't think I really want to stitch on black 14 count Aida. So I'm going to I think I'll get a beigey colour, probably something like maybe just a 22 count beige, and stitch it 1/1, and it will be really cute. Because what is this? This is, does it tell us on here? It's 12 inches by 11 inches on 14 count. And if I take it down to what essentially is, 22 count, that should make it about half the size, shouldn't it? 6 inches, wouldn't that be cute? So that's my plan for that. And my plan is to give it to my daughter because she loves reading and she loves her cats. So that's my plan. So that was really lovely. And she's the one I'm making the project bag for, and she doesn't even know I make floss tubes. Not letting her know that at least until the end of March, because her birthday's the 31st of March, so I need to get finished on the project bag for her. So is that all I have? Oh, one more thing, a bit of knitting. I haven't done a lot of knitting. I really got into the cross stitch, which is good. I finished a jumper for my great nephew, the one I made the chimp soft toy for. So this is called Monster Bash. And I know the neck's a bit wobbly, but I got a bit worried because I don't live near him, that the neck might be too tight. So I did a stretchy bind off. So I'm hoping when he puts it on, it might sit okay. But I didn't want it not to go over his head. So he turns 4 in April. So I've got that finished, and it'll be sent off to him this month. I'll send it to my sister, who is so excited about it. And she said, when it arrives, I don't know that I'm going to be able to wait for his birthday. So I might end up getting it early. But a friend of mine was showing us this magazine, an Australian, I think it was a Better Homes and Gardens knitting magazine they put out, and this was on the front cover, and so I borrowed the pattern and knitted it for him because I've got all girls grandchildren, so I've got 5 girls. I'm waiting on some yarn for my eldest one up here. I'm going to knit her a cardigan. I'm really hoping the yarn arrives this week so I can start it, and it'll be in a cotton because wool's too scratchy for her. So I think that's it. I have a few other things in the pipeline, but we'll go with that for the day. I'm just really happy I've been able to get here and film this, and there should be no issues getting the project notes in the drop-down box and the various links if you want to look up things, because I find that very useful when I'm watching someone's floss tube. I'm pleased at least I've sorted that out, and then there's obviously a few other things I need to sort out. I would like to get back to my designing and publishing patterns, but I'm just taking it slow at the moment. As I said, there's been a lot happening. It's been a very rocky start to the year, but onward and upward. So hopefully I can see you in a couple of weeks. Have a great week, everyone, and thank you very much for watching. Bye.